This is Villa View. Coming up, Stilian Petrov reflects on the FA Cup draw at Palace. We catch up with Martin O'Neill and we preview the clash of the Claret and Blues on Sunday. Hello and welcome to Villa View. I'm Andy Walker, and as ever today I'm joined in our Fort Dunlop studios by our man at the Villa, Matt Kendrick. Welcome, Matt.
Hello there.
Well, before we hear off Matt, here are the views of Villa skipper Stilian Petrov following his dramatic late equaliser at Selhurst Park on Sunday.
Well, usually other people making runs to the box, but today Steve Holt would decide me to go in the front post, and to be honest, Crystal Palace were leaving a big gap there, so I miss, I was close in the first half, and we keep talking about with John that he should leave that space, and I went in, and sometimes these balls go in, sometimes don't. I think all the goals are important, and especially in the games like that, you need a little bit of luck, and you need goals as well. We had it today, and like I say, we're going to have a replay. We're ready for that. If we need to play Wednesday and then play the final and Sunday again, we beat it. We'll just play and we'll keep going.
Well, Matt, we heard off the Villa captain Stilian Petrov there. You were at Selhurst Park on Sunday. What did you make of the time?
It was a real cup cracker, wasn't it, in the end? End-to-end stuff. Fair play to Palace, considering what they've got going on behind the scenes with the financial problems and going into administration. They created a real kind of siege mentality and kind of really went at Villa. Some brilliant goals. Ambrose's goal was a screamer. I think Petrov's header was pretty special as well, and I think you've got to give Villa credit rather than too much criticism, because although it was a lower league team in trouble that they were facing away from home, to come from behind twice in such a partisan atmosphere and to show such never say die spirit, I think they deserve credit for that.
But in many ways, despite the entertainment of the game, it was slightly overshadowed by what's become a bit of a typical post-match rant from Neil Warnock. I mean, what did you make of the Palace manager's outburst?
It was a trademark Warnock, wasn't it, really? I think at first glance he must have been the only person in the ground who noticed the linesman's mistake, because to the naked eye it seemed as if it should have been a genuine corner. Speroni, the Palace goalkeeper, made a cracking save from John Carew's header, but the replay showed that he actually struck Nathan Delfonso on the way behind, on the way over the byline. So Palace were hard done by. It was a mistake, but you've still got to defend the corners, and it was a great goal by Petrov. And sometimes it's those breaks that you need if you're gonna carry on in the cup.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Well, of course, Villa have no game this week, which allows them a rare midweek break, and that allowed us the chance to catch up with Villa boss Martin O'Neill.
Whatever's next up, you go and try and concentrate on that. And next up now is Burnley on the Sunday. So that's all we can do. I've given the players, they've played a lot of games here, a few days off, which I think that they deserved, and because they've the likes of James Milner's, Gabby Bonlord, really with no pre-season, so it's a matter of resting those boys as much as they can, and that's the balancing act that we're trying to do at the moment.
Well, it's time to turn to your questions, and first up, Matt, is Dan from Hall Green, who I suppose we can really answer his question itself, but he's asked about how important is the FA Cup to Villa this season. But I suppose, judging by the lineup that O'Neill announced, that answered it itself, really, didn't it?
Yeah, it surprised me quite how strong O'Neill went, really. Other than Gabby Bonlord, I think it was the strongest available 11 that he could put out. It's an awkward one, really, isn't it? I think the more the FA Cup draws opened up with the big boys kind of tumbling out along the way, I think the greater significance it's taken on. Obviously, Villa have the minor distraction of a League Cup final a week on Sunday. But the FA Cup, it's still the kind of best domestic knockout competition that English football can offer, isn't it? Really, I think the fact that O'Neill has never won this one, either as a player or a manager, I think he can see, although he won't publicly admit it, he can see there's an opportunity here.
And we've had another question from Richard, who doesn't actually say where he's from, but he's wondering just how much of a hindrance the timing of the replay will be. As you said, just a matter of days before the Carling Cup final.
The added complication is you're facing Neil Warnock's team. Warnock won't think twice about kind of motivating his team by saying, look, make sure you're going hard every single tackle. Villa aren't going to fancy this. They're not going to want to risk injuries. So it's going to be a real kind of blood and thunder clash, and it's up to O'Neill whether he thinks it's worth risking potential injury for his key players for the final.
Yeah, of course, and before all of that, before the Carling Cup final and before the FA Cup replay, of the back to the pursuit of cracking the top four with Burnley at Villa Park on Sunday.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it, that Villa we're talking about competing on three fronts, and we're kind of into the business end of the season now. And I mean, O'Neill's got all these headaches. Who does he play? Who does he rest? But I don't think he'd want it any other way.
Okay, Matt, well, thanks for joining us today, and thank you for watching. We'll be back the same time next week, and as Matt said, it promises to be a very exciting week indeed for Villa. Thanks, and we'll see you then.